In this video, you are going to learn how you can double your show rate right after watching this video. If you don't know me already, my name's Christian. I'm the founder at Spartan Scaling, and I've made a few $100,000 in an agency, in a consulting business, and no-show rates are one of the biggest metrics that we look at. I went from having a 20-30% no-show rate to now above 70%, and it's due to these three reasons that we're about to cover. So I'm going to move my head here, and we're going to be talking about the no-show triad, okay? So a lot of these videos about show rates you see online might tell you, hey, make sure they go watch the Zoom link and that you send them text and email reminders. That's very shallow surface level stuff. There are more reasons as to why people might not be showing up to your calls, and that's what I want to cover with you here today. And for a couple of you guys that stick until the end, I'll actually show you an example of what your thank you page should look like on the back end after prospects book a call with you. So with that being said, let's dive straight into it. So the first reason, and the most important reason, as to why people might not be showing up to your calls in the first pillar of the no-show triad is the problem that your sales calls are not worth the prospect's time. You heard me right. A lot of people kind of get like ego hurt when they hear this, and it's true, right? We think that we're the center of the world and we think we're the most important people ever. But the truth is, if you are experiencing a high no-show rate, it might be because your sales calls are not worth the prospect's time in their eyes. They see the call on their calendar the following day and they say, hey, this call is definitely not worth my time. Let me ask him to reschedule. So if you're getting a lot of reschedules, if you're getting a lot of people that just cancel the call, this might be the problem that you are facing. And there is a solution to it. So let's go ahead and break this down. If you're experiencing this, the solution to getting people to feel like the call is worth their time is having a value video pre and post booking, breaking down how this call is going to help them solve whatever problem they are currently facing in their business that you could provide your service in order to solve it. So pre-call, right? Pre-booking, here's the importance of having a content ecosystem. And if you haven't seen my videos before, go and watch some of the other videos on my channel where I break this down, but you should have some content before the call that gets people really indoctrinated with what you're doing, gets them bought into your process and how it works, and gets them to believe that your thing is the one thing that they are missing from hitting their goals. And if they truly believe that to their core, they wouldn't no-show your call. Right? They would show up happily because they understand that your thing that you're selling is the one thing that they're missing from scaling, getting more clients, saving more time, whatever it might be that you're selling. Now, when we're talking post-booking, this is after they book the call, referring back to our thank you page, we need to either reintroduce the VSL that we initially gave them to show them, hey, look, this is how our process works. This is why we're getting on a call. And it's in order to show you how you can implement X, Y, and Z, which will usually be your new opportunity, your unique mechanism, in order to get them to X, Y, and Z result or goal that most people in your niche have. So again, we want to have a value video or really a lot of content pre-call, pre-booking before they even want to get on a sales call. You want them to be sold on your thing before the sales call, okay? But post-booking, you also want to reintroduce that value video and you want to explain to the prospects how you are going to be showing them something on this call that's going to change their life forever. Again, if you could simply get them to believe that, every single time they're going to believe that this is worth their time. You're not going to deal with the reschedules. You're not going to deal with them canceling the call on you. And you're just not going to put up with that, right? And, again, one of the principles I follow is you get what you tolerate. So if you tolerate people disrespecting your time and rescheduling, then that's what you're going to get. But if you don't allow any reschedules, any no-shows, you blacklist them, this is something that's going to actively improve your show rate. So this is the first problem I see. In order for you guys to fix this right away, make sure you have content pre-booking and a video post-booking explaining to them how you're going to help them solve a very specific, very big, and really the deepest, darkest, painful problem that they're experiencing in their business. Now, with that being said, let's move to the second problem. The second problem you might be really experiencing is that your prospects are quote unquote scared of the sales call. Now, this is a really funny one because you might be thinking like, what do you mean they're scared of the sales call? What does that even mean? I'll try to give this example to you so you could understand what I'm saying. If you've ever bought something online or maybe you've hopped on sales calls with an agency or a coaching program or whatever, you had an idea before the call whether you were sold on it or not, right? And it's the same thing we teach. The same thing you want to do for clients is you want them to kind of have a decision in their head where they're either yes or no on the thing you're selling before the call, and maybe they need a little bit more clarification in order to really jump over the fence and pay you thousands of dollars. So if you do this correctly and you have the proper content, indoctrination process, and everything that we do to shift limiting beliefs before the call, they should be pre-sold on your thing. And here's where it gets scary. If you've ever been in this position where booked a sales call and you were pre-sold on this guy's product or service, you were probably scared for the actual time of the sales call, because you know that the second you hop on and he gives a really good value proposition and he drops a 15K price tag, you might get kind of cornered into buying the thing. And you might be planning your day out the night before. It's 10 p.m. and you're looking at your calendar for tomorrow, planning out your day, and you see that sales call on your calendar. And you probably start thinking to yourself like, dude, what's going to happen? I'm going to hop on this call. I'm going to pay this guy 4, 5K, 10K, $15,000. I'm scared, right? I'm scared that he's going to actually convince me and give me a good enough value proposition to buy his thing. And it's the same thing that your prospects experience. If you do a good job pre-call, selling them on your thing, they're going to be scared of your sales call. And in order to solve this, what we're going to do is we are going to frame the call properly. Now, there's a couple terms that I use here. One is scale call. We have roadmap call. We have demo call. There's a lot of different names you can give to calls. One thing that I'm against is if you're just naming your call strategy session, because you got that from Sam Ovens like 5 years ago, in my opinion, nobody really understands what a strategy session is. Like, what strategy are we going over? What are we doing? I like to make something simple and call it a roadmap, a scale call, where we're going to be explaining the exact roadmap or exactly how we're going to help you scale, right? Very simple and to the point. And in order to do this, you want this to be a part of your post-booking value video that you have on your thank you page. You want to explain to them, hey, look, I want you to leave your credit card at home, right? You could say a joke. I've heard this a ton of times. Leave your card in the fridge if you want to, okay? Show up to this call, and all that we're going to be doing together is going over a very specific roadmap, to you, personalized to you, to help you grow and solve this problem or constraint that you're currently facing in your business. And when you frame the call properly, it's going to lower the sales resistance before the call. Because they're going to start to understand, like, okay, as long as I get on the call, he's just going to give me a roadmap. He's going to show me what it looks like to scale. And now it becomes your duty on that call to give them a good enough roadmap to say, hey, this is exactly what I need and exactly what I want to implement. I want you to do this for me, right? And that, my friends, is when you make the sale. And this is how we solve the problem of having your prospects scared of the sales call. We want to lower the resistance before the call and not make them feel like it's do or die. They're going to pay you 10K or you're going to be hassling them for 2 hours. We don't want that to happen. And that might be one of the reasons why you're experiencing a low no-show rate. Now we have the final one. And this is really the one that a lot of people show you how to do, except I have a caveat to it. So the problem with this one is that your prospects might not remember when the sales call is or how to access and actually get on the sales call. What you'll notice is in industries that are more old school, like contracting, landscaping, blue collar, construction or whatever it might be, these people don't regularly get on Zoom calls. And so you want to make it very clear as to where the thing is. But here's something we do that not a lot of people do. And the solution to this, in order to increase show rate, is to have SMS and email appointment confirmation reminders. So all of you watching this video should have text and email reminders through Calendly or through Go High Level to make sure that your prospects are getting reminded on when the call is. But what we like to do is we like to put in our reminders via text and email to tell the prospect that they have to reply the word yes to the automated message in order to confirm their time, or unfortunately, we're going to have to cancel. And I know there's some study out there that proves that like 90% of people that confirm yes to a sales call actually do show up. So it's not like we're just going to not show up to the call on our end if they don't confirm it. But doing this allows us to understand, okay, there's a 90% chance this guy's going to show up because he replied yes. And the prospect will also see how you value your time when you say, hey, if you don't reply yes, unfortunately, we'll have to cancel the call due to a high volume of calls that we've been getting recently. So you want to have that yes confirmation in your text and email reminders to get them to confirm the time. And then you also want to have a Zoom link tutorial. So this, in order to do this, we'll get to your thank you page here in a second, but you basically want to just run them through and say, hey, look, the Zoom link will be in your email. You'll get notifications 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before, an hour before, and you'll be able to find the Zoom link in there in your email, and also it should be on your calendar with the email that you signed up with in order to access the Zoom link. Okay, so now you guys understand. I mean, these are really the three problems that we face, and this is the no-show triad, as I like to call it, where we solve the problem of getting them to remember when it is, getting them to confirm the call and also access the Zoom link, getting them to understand why they shouldn't be scared of the sales call, and also showing them why the sales call is worth their time. Now, as I promised you in the beginning, I want to show you an example of a thank you page here. So I'm going to draw this out, so just bear with me here. But pretend that right here, guys, is your landing page, right? And this will be your thank you page. So this is a page you guys should all have, and if you don't have one already, I don't know why you don't, but this should be what your prospects get sent to immediately after they schedule the sales call, okay? So let's say they already saw your ad, they saw your outreach message, they saw your VSL and all your content, and then they automatically just booked a sales call into your calendar. This will be the page that you shoot them, or they just automatically get sent to. Now, if you set them into an appointment over the phone, you're gonna be manually really scheduling the appointment for them, so they're not going to be taken to this thank you page. This thank you page for people that have been set by an SDR should be sent as a link via SMS and email for them to view before the sales call. Okay, very clear distinction there. So we want to have a couple of things on this thank you page. The first thing that we want to have in here is our simple thank you video. Now, there's a couple kind of rules here. So the first thing is we want this to be like 60 seconds to 3 minutes long. And there's a couple of things that we want to get out of this. The first thing is we want to obviously thank them for booking a call. To, tell them that you're happy that you're able to get on a call, get to know them, see how you could help them. You also want to confirm the call, right? So confirm via SMS/email. So basically tell them like, hey, look, we're going to be sending you automated SMS and email reminders for the call. All I want you to do is go down in those reminders and reply the word yes to it. If you don't reply yes, we're going to assume that you can't show up to the call and we are going to cancel your call. So again, this is a tactic we use to get a ton of people to reply yes and confirm the call that we are going to get on. Now, the last thing that we want to do here is give them just kind of the Zoom I would just call it rundown. So say, hey, look, in the emails and on your calendar is where you're going to have access to the Zoom link. So this will be the first video on your thank you page. The second video that we want to have on here is our value video. So this is just like how I explained above. We want to have our value video on here, which could either be our VSL that we've already made on the front end, or it could be a separate video where you walk them through, hey, look, this is basically how the call is going to go down. We're going to jump on. I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions just to really understand your business. And then we're going to be building out a roadmap together on exactly how we could solve whatever constraint or bottleneck you're currently facing in your business. So again, the purpose of this call is not to sell you anything. It's not to, use some high pressure sales tactic or whatever, whatever you want to say there. But basically, the purpose of this call is to lay out a very clear roadmap on how you could solve the problems you have, how you could use blank new opportunity in order to scale. And if you want our help implementing it, then we can give you an offer and we can go over what it looks like to work together. So again, we have your value video there, which checks off both of these problems, right? We want to show them why it's worth their time, and we want to show them why they shouldn't be scared of the call. Now, in the value video, we want we want to have a call to action here. Okay, so we want to have a call to action here, which says to go down below and watch a couple client interviews, case studies, testimonials, because we want to get them completely sold on the product. So we want to have case studies here. So the best case study in the world are client interviews, where you hop on a 20-30 minute YouTube video with your clients and you go over the exact transformation that they went through. If you could put a bunch of client interviews here, or at the very minimum screenshots of wins and results, this will do a really, really good job of warming your prospects up, getting them to see your authority, know that you're legit, know that you could help them. So this is a basic rundown of what you want your thank you page to look like. Again, if you're doing outbound setting, so you have a SDR, you have an SDR booking them in, you want to send them the link. So you want to send them the link to this thank you page over SMS or email. If they are auto booking, they will automatically auto get shot to this page, and this page will nurture them, make sure they show up, and make sure that they check off all 3 problems of the no-show triad. That is exactly how we fix the no-show rate, guys. If you want my help getting more calls to show up, getting more calls on your calendar, and closing more deals with a high-ticket offer in a B2B agency, then you can go down below, check out my VSL, book a call with me, and see the exact same strategies that we use for our no-show rate process. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.